Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. It's Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. I'm about to wreck your chin with this one. Before I wreck your chin, let me remind you guys to please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're dropping content like this on the regular, trying to have conversation with you guys, man, the real boxing fans. With that being said, I'm going to the chin checky with this raw review. This was a great fight, man. This was a great fight. I enjoyed every minute, every round, every second. Man, the chess matches, even the chess matches at the corner the trainers was playing was great. It was high level, very, very high level training in there. Very, very high level boxing, man. High speed chess all day. The poster for this fight was fitting because they had them playing, playing chess on the poster for the fight. That was a very, very fitting, very, very fitting poster, man. Very, very fitting fight name being called Checkmate, because this is what it was. It was most definitely skill versus skill, game plan versus game plan. It was a great fight, man. Great fight. By far deserves a rematch in my honest opinion. I don't think Devin Haney is going to do a rematch. I don't think he want to risk that. Judging by his post-fight interview, I can see him moving up to 140 next. Usually when that guy start running down that accolades of the weight class and then start saying things like I just beat a future Hall of Famer at this weight, when he start doing things like that nature, you can tell that he's on the way up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't blame him. Judging by his fight, he looked great this way in. He looked great. He didn't look drained or dry or nothing. But the previous way in, he was a zombie, man. He was frail. The second Cambosis fight. Excuse me. He was a very, very dried out in that fight. So I don't blame him for moving up. He did say he would stick around at the money talk, which we all know what that means. There's really no other money in there other than Tank Davis, man. The Tank Davis fight. Shakur Stevenson was in the ring with him. Shakur Stevenson, my boy Mom be proud of this moment. My boy Mom's a big Shakur Stevenson fan. Shakur Stevenson was in the ring with him. Shakur Stevenson was looking for the face-off and the call-out. They left the ring. Devin Haney, the whole squad left the ring. They didn't get Shakur Stevenson his shine, bro. They left the ring before he can get that face-off, which is fucked up, man. Because when Lomachenko did his little face-off, well, Lomachenko looked bad his last fight. They came in the ring on Lomachenko and pretty much called him out. But soon Shakur Stevenson in the ring, they do the same thing. They motherfuckers jet. That shit was hilarious. But let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about a possible Shakur Stevenson or Tank Davis fight. I say this is real quick. I don't want to break that fight down too much because I want my boy Mine here. And on top of that, this is a whole nother video. This should be a whole nother video we could talk about. But that left hand, that double left hand of Lomachenko, man, that shit was crushing Haney, bro. That shit was crushing. That left uppercut he hit him with in the 10th. That shit crushed him, bro. Both Devin Haney, Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson are southpaw. Both of them be cracking. While Tank Davis is smaller, I think Haney is probably a little bit smaller than Tank. But Shakur Stevenson, height-wise, it's not that. It's about Haney's height, bro. And he's southpaw. That left hand was crushing Haney, bro. I've been thought this. I've been felt like this. I've been felt that Devin Haney, out of those three guys, out of the three top 135 pounders, I always thought Devin was the weakest link, man. I'm not gonna lie. I knew he's the undisputed champion. I understand that. But come on, man. All three of those guys beat Campbell that same exact way. Tank knocks Campbell's slam out. Let's be honest. Shakur Stevenson, he might beat the brakes. He'll beat the brakes off Campbell's worse than Devin Haney did. So even this fight with Lomachenko, I think that version of Lomachenko, I think Tank stops him. That version of Lomachenko, I think Shakur Stevenson beats him up. Devin Haney, I think, man, I don't want to use the weight drain thing because I don't think he was weight drained. He looked spectacular tonight, man. It was a spectacular fight. He held his own, but I can see why he would want to move up. I don't think he'll fight Lomachenko again. I'll be honest. Shakur Stevenson came on there and pretty much said what I had to score. He pretty much said that Lomachenko should have been the undisputed champion tonight. Let's talk about that real quick. Shakur Stevenson said that Lomachenko was pressuring Haney all night and was landing clean effective punches all night. He was hurting him in there. His exact words. he scored the fight the same way I scored the fight. I scored the fight one of two ways. Actually, I scored the fight by two main criteria. That is clean, effective punching, range and ownership. It is almost impossible to see a part in that fight where you can actually say Haney was dominating the range and ownership portion. He was on his back foot a whole lot. Lomachenko was pretty much moving in when he wanted to, and then he'd back up where he wanted to. He was getting Haney in the corner when he wanted, and then backing off when he wanted. I kind of wished when he had Haney in some of them corners, I kind of wish he would have, set something up a little bit, but he know that Haney was setting the trap. He knew it was a trap, and he didn't want to rush it and go in there on no traps. Because I think Haney was hurting him to the body. But like I said earlier, that double left hand he couldn't barely miss with that motherfucker. That shit was coming down and he was crushing him. The same thing with Haney. Haney, right hand to the body, crushing Lomachenko. So I think a lot of these judges, most of the judges in there, they looked at the body shots and overall, the fact that he's the undisputed champion already. He did enough to win certain rounds. A lot of those swing rounds, you have to beat the champion. So when you in a swing round like that, it was rounds I thought Lomachenko was getting breathers. He was getting, not taking a rest per se, but he would throw a little bit and then take a little breather in it. And then Haney would be jabbing him and throwing body shots to, close that round out. And I think a lot of those rounds would close out basically because he landed more to the body. But like I said, the clean effective punches was most definitely Lomachenko, man. He was snapping Haney's head back. The jab was snapping Haney's head back. The double left hand was snapping Haney's head back. The uppercut snapped Haney's head up. Man, I honestly thought in the 10th round, I thought Haney was going to get dropped. He showed a heart of a champion, a heart of a warrior, that he's still on his feet. I thought Lomachenko could have did a little more to get him out of there, but Haney didn't. He did a great, I will say this too. Lomachenko was doing a lot of the holding. I thought in my post fight, Haney was going to do a lot of the holding, a lot of the jab and the holding, but really Lomachenko was doing a lot of the holding was because Haney would put his shoulder right in Lomachenko's chin or right into his chest, crowding that space. He did a great job of being either far enough or too close to Lomachenko for Lomachenko to do any type of turning. Lomachenko wanted to turn him so bad. He did a few times, and he actually landed an uppercut off a turn. But for most of the fight, whenever Lomachenko tried to throw a bait punch and then try to turn Haney would put that shoulder in his chest to keep him from turning on the outside. Great coaching. Great strategy, man. It was great strategy. But that was pretty much it, though. Like, both guys seem to be the same way when it comes to being marked, like the face being marked up at the end of the fight. Both guys look the same. Both guys took a lot of punches. But like I said, man, the more visible punches was most definitely landed by Lomachenko. Let me know in the comment section what you think, man. I had a slight win for Lomachenko. A lot of fans did. Chappell Stevenson did. I'm about to go on Twitter a little bit and see what some of these fighters are saying about the fight and see what some of these fighters pick. And we want to see, man. We want to see how this shit turn out, because the way it's looking like it's going to turn out tomorrow morning when I wake up, it's going to be a lot of people calling it a robbery. It's going to be a lot of people fighting the fact that it was a robbery or it wasn't a robbery. The Haney fans are going to be on defense mode pretty much, and they're going to be getting jumped on. Judging by the crowd that was booing Devin Haney coming out, judging by what Chappell Stevenson said, would that be enough to get Devin Haney to get Lomachenko another fight? I would love to see a rematch. I would love to see what adjustments each guy make. I would love to see if Devin Haney can go out here and dominate in a rematch on the older guy, or I would love to see if Lomachenko go out here and put his balls to the wall and try to get Haney out of there after seeing that what he did in the third. I think it was the 3rd and the 10th when he had Haney hurt bad. I want to see what he does when you watch this film on this fight and see how you get over that 12th round as well. Because if he won that 12th round, it could have been a draw. I'm gonna leave that out too. Because the 12th round, I gave it to Haney. I had Loma up by one. Excuse me, I had Haney up. I had Lomachenko up by 1 round going into the 12th. So if he won that 12th in my card, he would have been up by 2 points. On the judges card, on 2 of the judges card, it would have been a draw. So Lomachenko also got to be mad at himself for that, because he gave that 12th round up to Haney, because Haney was just pretty much pity-patting him and landing shots to the body in the 12th. I ain't gonna say he was surviving. He was fighting in there in the 12th, but he was doing enough to keep Loma at bay, and Loma was just too tired to catch him. It's like Loma thought that he was high up. He was high up in there. He was high enough to cruise a little bit, but he wasn't. And I said this too. This will be on the thought process of people. Haney was not as strong in there as he thought he was going to be. Haney thought he was going to be the way he pushed Lomachenko with the weigh-in yesterday, and how he's saying he was going to crush him and break him. That's not what we saw. I'm gonna be honest. Lomachenko looked stronger in the clinches. Lomachenko was stronger in there. Lomachenko was the more powerful man. So Devin Haney gonna have to really, really go to the drawing board when he talk about moving up to 140. I'm gonna be honest, because at 140 you got the Regis Prograis of the world, you got the Lopez's of the world, Josh Tellers of the world. If Josh Tellers don't move up after this fight, he has some bigger men, some bigger, stronger dudes up there. Gary Antoine Russell, I'm gonna be honest, that's the guy nobody's seen to want to fight right now. Gary Antoine Russell is a dangerous fight for Haney as well. It's a lot of people up there who I think would pretty much look at Haney's punching power as a liability, and they would look at that shit as like a I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm kind of trying to be nice about it. They're gonna walk through his punches. They're gonna walk through them shits. I'm gonna be honest. Lomachenko came in here and showed out. As a smaller guy at 135, he showed out. He showed he still belongs. Who do you see him fighting next? If Haney moves up, that frees all the belts. So I know it's just for all the Lomachenko fans out there. I know it's sad for you guys that Loma didn't win the belts tonight. And I kept saying on ESPN maybe his last time to do it. That's bullshit. Because if Haney moves up in weight, those belts are free. I'm pretty sure Top Rank is gonna have their hands, especially on that WBO strap. It's gonna be all whatever Bob want to do. That's gonna be Bob belt. So the WBO gonna be up for Lomachenko. And then it's still big fights there for Lomachenko to win the rest of those belts. He can still be undisputed. He's gonna take a longer way around. He's not gonna win them all at one fight now. He's gonna have to win them, possibly in 3 or 4 fights. Cause the WBC, we know it's going to PBC. So it's gonna more likely go to Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson may get his hands on the belt. So Top Rank will probably have 2 belts. If I had to pick one, I would say it may be the IB. It could be the IBF, possibly. Or it could be Frank Martin get that belt. Maybe Frank Martin get the IBF. I gotta look at the rankings and see who's ranked where. But they're gonna be scattered around for a bit. But Lomachenko is going out the door, so I don't see him turn down no smoke. And he's the name opponent that all guys want to fight. So if he has the belt and Frank Martin has the belt, that's a good fight. We all know Tank Davis versus Lomachenko is a good fight. And we all know Shakur Stevenson versus Lomachenko is the fight Bob won anyway. So it's still a possibility that Lomachenko could be undisputed. Let me just leave it out there. It's still a possibility. He may be 38, 39 years old if he can do it. Maybe around 38. I think he's 34. What they say, 34, 35 now. So he may be 37, 36 when he do it. But it still can be done if the politics don't get in the way, which they probably will. You know how they go. In closing, what I would want to see happen, I want to see the rematch. Hands down, I want to see the rematch. I think Devin Haney should come back. He won't do it though. He won't do it. But I would love to see him come back and fight Lomachenko again and quiet all the fans that boomed, all the fans that were throwing shit at him, throwing shit at him and his dad when they was walking back to the dressing room. They was throwing shit at him and shit, all that shit. All the Shakur Stevenson who's saying that, Lomachenko should have won this fight. All the fans right now who crying out robbery. I would love to see Devin Haney go out here and prove and do the Andre Ward. Go out here and fight that nigga again and beat him. Beat him worse than you thought you did the first fight. You know what I'm saying? When Andre Ward fought Kovalev the second time, he stopped him. So go ahead and stop Lomachenko next time. Go in like Floyd Mayweather did against Corrales. Go ahead and stop the man. No, it was Castillo. The same way Mayweather did against Castillo. Motherfucker said it was a close fight. Going in the rematch, dog walk him. Beat the brakes off of him. Let's go ahead and beat the brakes off of him and call it a day. Because if you're gonna stick around at 135, if you're gonna stick around there, you might well fight a Tank Davis. You might well fight a Lomachenko again, because you go in there and fight Shakur Stevenson, he's going to ruin your whole game plan of moving to 140 undefeated. I'm gonna be honest. So without that big payday, because your biggest payday right now is Tank Davis. There's no payday as big as Tank Davis at 140. It's not. It's not. I know Bob Byrne wanted to put you in there with the winner of Lopez versus Josh Taylor. That's what Top Rank want to do. But that is not going to be as big as Tank Davis. And I'm going to be honest. It's going to be a whole nother video. But I'm going to be honest. Them double left hands you was going to hit with tonight going to come a lot faster and a lot harder when they're coming up from Tank Davis, bro. When they're coming from Tank Davis, it's going to do more to snap your head back. That's all I got to say. With that being said, this is your favorite channel, man, CTB. Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy Jay Slay. Peace.